One with live.
Yo, 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 yo. What's up, everyone? Hope y'all are doing good. Hope y'all are blessed and highly favored. Welcome to episode 42 of the MMAHOLIcs. We appreciate y'all for joining us. It's me, the boy Antoine, with my main man, Nikki. How you doing, Nikki? How you been feeling, man? I know you've been training really hard from every time I'm always texting you every day. How's your week, man? It's Friday night, so how you been?
It's good, bro. It's good. We had the NFL draft last night. I don't know if you was watching. My Raiders got Gene T, got the best running back in the draft, so I was super excited about that.
I agree.
Good playoff games. Been enjoying that. We got a bunch of UFC news. We're doing a short stream today, but we're definitely going to talk about those fights that just got announced soon. And yeah, I've been good, bro. I've been good.
Yeah, man, I've been good too. Just chilling, most definitely. Speaking of, we can talk about the fights that got announced after, since we have more time at that point to talk about them. And yeah, want to give a shout out to the boy Andrew in the chat. What's up, Andrew? Thank you so much for joining us, bro. I'm always seeing you in Pickham's chat. I think James chat as well, James Lynch. So it's Adam and Marcel and stuff too. So shout out to Andrew, most definitely. And he's given his opinion on the draft already. Yeah, man, it's really crazy. Shador didn't get drafted. You saw I don't know if you're on Twitter like that, Andrew, but him and his brother Shiloh were joking around with each other, and Shiloh was like, man, if they're doing you like this, I don't know how they're gonna do me, It's like, I do think that Shador, hopefully he does get drafted tonight. The second round is going on as we speak. I think eventually he will get picked up. I think he's too talented of a quarterback to not get picked up. A lot of people were two-faced by his performance for the Colorado Buffaloes, but I do think that he could still come out and be serviceable to a team. And I think this honestly was better for him because it's only gonna make him work harder during this season. It's only gonna add more fuel to his fire. And I'm really happy that at least he'll have that to build on, because he already would have wanted to live up to the name of his father, being one of the greatest cornerbacks of all time. But I think with Shador, like him not getting drafted the way he thought he was going to, I think it's only going to benefit him and make him want to work harder and prove everybody wrong. So it's going to be one of the biggest storylines too, 1000%. Even though he wasn't the first pick, he will be one of the biggest storylines, him and Travis over in Jacksonville. And it's pretty funny. This isn't a football podcast, but we do discuss sports, of course. And speaking of Shannon Sharp, it sucks, man. He announced he was stepping away from ESPN. He did indeed do so. He wasn't on First Take today, so it's unfortunate, man. Like he was on Undisputed for 7 years, and this never happened when he was with Skip Bayless. And now you don't have two incidents. One with of course the Instagram Live incident back in September, and now with this incident now with the OnlyFans chick. It just sucks, bro. For Shannon Sharp, the former tight end. But
Wasn't that right after he signed his big contract too?
Yeah, I don't even know if he's officially signed it yet.
It got announced like $100 million.
He was going to
50.
And now the girl is suing him for $50 million. They said he allegedly tried to settle out of court for $10 million. Apparently, y'all know you can't believe all the tabloids, but
it's just sick is what it is.
It sucks, man. It goes to show you. Cause I get it. People are judging him, saying he's too old to be acting like this, and
it ain't a crime to be kinky.
And I see it
to be a freak. We were talking about that group chat. I was talking about that with Maria. It's like it's not a crime to be a freak. It's really not. You could be a sick motherfucker, but it's not a crime for that,
Because the text message came out. I mean, they were pretty graphic, so we can't really talk about them on here. It means no and stuff like that. There's certain things they were trying out that apparently she didn't give consent to. And also an audio came out that TMZ leaked talking about Shannon was saying he's going to choke the shit out of her and stuff like that. And it did kind of sound like him, man. Of course, AI is out there and all that kind of stuff now, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, for Shannon Sharp, the point I was getting to this age, like, if he was married, just with a wife and kids, this wouldn't have happened. Of course, it still could have. He could have stepped out, he could have cheated, whatever. But I think the likelihood would have been lowered significantly if he would have been with a wife, had children. Like, he does have children already, but he has 3 kids, I believe. But at the same time, Either way, he's Hall of Fame tight end, one of the greatest tight ends to ever play the game. 3-time Super Bowl champion, 8-time Pro Bowler, I believe. So, he's seen it all and done it all to the full. Shannon Sharp, and it sucks to see his second career might go down in flames. Not in flames because he still has this. He still has Nightcap, and he still has his YouTube channel. The day after he stepped away, he was at the NFL draft on Nightcap, so he's still getting booked. He's still very much busy. He actually, like, before we even get to the fights, he just did an interview with Terrence Crawford, like a day ago, and that already has like 400,000 views after one day on Club Shay Shay. So that's one thing. A lot of people love Shannon Sharp for what he did on the football field. There's some massive NFL fans that love Hall of Fame players, love good players, and he's undoubtedly a lot of people's favorite player, Shannon Sharp. So yeah, man, like, it sucks. Hopefully he doesn't stay away from First Take too long. Hopefully they can get this resolved at court and he can just move on with his life. But yeah, of course, this is a mixed martial arts podcast. Just had to talk about that. That's one of the biggest news in sports going on right now, unfortunately, for Shannon Sharp. So, yeah, man, I don't know if you have any 2 cents you wanted to. I know you just said, the whole kinky stuff, but before we move on, was there anything you want to say about Shannon or?
Much. It's crazy. I mean, that's his professional career right there. But people see right through it, honestly. Like, I don't think people, there's a lot of people who are calling him, weird because he's older, and that's a different story. But people are seeing right through the claims. I mean, I don't think like I mean, yeah, I don't think he did anything wrong where he should be losing his job or nothing. It's crazy. Or he should be getting sued. So,
No.
I mean, yeah, people should be seeing right through it. They shouldn't be thinking he's a bad person. If you want to judge him for his actions, that's fine. It's perfectly fine. But yeah, he shouldn't lose his job. And he's good at what he does. I don't think he's like one of the, I was talking to you about it in the group chat about, like, they have all these new guys on air and they just bring in these players and they're just so, like, they don't talk professionally. With Shannon, he's just funny. He's just goofy. It's not like he's just talking to talk. I actually, like, hear what he's saying. It doesn't feel like when they brought on Morris and he called the Grizzlies YNs. I was like, please take him off air and never put him back on again. It's just so stupid. But yeah, I think Shannon should be back on. I don't like that he has to step away. But that's whatever.
I agree. That YN shit was so fucking. Stephen A.
It's just so
Stephen A's face didn't fucking change.
You're talking to Twitter. You're not talking to people watching their television. You know how many dads are probably watching it,
not knowing what that meant.
Kid, what's a YN? Little fucking white kids like giggling in the corner on the couch.
Young,
so stupid. So stupid. It pisses me off, bro. It does. It really does.
Regardless of whatever race you are, as long as you are in the young generation, like me, my man Nikki here, you know exactly what the YNs stand for, no matter what race you are, most definitely. But yeah, moving on to the fight card, though. Thank y'all again for joining us. We already 8 minutes in. About to get to discussing it. Y'all see the orange, so y'all know what card we're about to break down. It's UFC Fight Night. Machado Garry versus Carlos Prates, the welterweight fighting nerd versus the rising Irishman. Pretty compelling matchup, if I do say so myself. I do like the card. I love the fight. It's cool, man. We actually have some fans back. Obviously, we were off last week, so it's cool to come back refreshed. And people are always talking about, oh, this card's trash, this and that, until you have no fight, and then. I mean, so that's one thing. MMA fans got to be humble on this one. Be grateful that we got a good card like this. I saw some people on Twitter calling this card even better than some pay-per-views that have been coming out. But before we dive in on the prelims, how do you feel about the card before we go?
I like it. It's a decent card. I like fights on the card. I wouldn't say like the card's amazing. There's a lot of it looks like a lot of the fights are going to go to decisions off the bat, but the main card is pretty good. I'll say I haven't been this excited for an Anthony Smith fight in a long time, ironically, because, like, we'll get into the fight later, but, like, there's seriously a chance for a fraud check in that fight. This is a big jump up for Zhang. So,
young.
I mean, we've seen Anthony Smith on the skid, but, like, it's still Anthony Smith. You still got to respect him in the octagon. He's still a dangerous human being. And hopefully his head's a little more clear in this one. But yeah, I like it. And obviously this main event's a fucking banger, bro. Oh my God, this is such a good main event.
Nah, yeah.
This could be like a feature bout on the biggest card of the year.
I agree. Yeah, like that's how good this fight is. Like it would, yeah, I agree with you. It'd be like the feature bout on a super duper stack card. It's having like the implications for the fight. It had to be 5 rounds given a fight of this magnitude. So we can go ahead and get started with the prelims, y'all. Like Nikki said at the top of the show, this will be kind of a shorter one because I do have to be somewhere by like 9:40 and it's 9:08 right now. So we're gonna go ahead and
tell the world what you do, bro. Tell them.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm a sports journalist for sure. Most definitely, we cover MMA on here. But for my career, predominantly been covering basketball. Of course, I'm a sports journalist. I can cover anything, whether it's football, soccer, baseball, whatever. Of course, the job assignment is. But for my beat, I cover the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Atlanta Hawks, and of course, the Hawks unfortunately are in the off season, so it's all Lakers for me right now, and they're in a playoff series versus the Timberwolves in my publication that I work for. In case any of y'all are Laker fans out there, obviously they're a super popular team. I work for the Lakers lead sports media, but I work for the Lakers, so I'm under the Lakers umbrella on that job assignment. Y'all can catch us on Twitter at Lakers Lead LEAD, and yeah, y'all can see my boy, like your boy Antoine, me posting my stuff on there, all my articles and stuff. Just like the boy Nikki is a martial artist. I'm a journalist in the real life. So yeah, man, absolutely. Yeah, gotta cover the Lakers game after this. So really gotta hurry up because I literally have to watch that from start to finish. So we're gonna go ahead and get started for sure. Most definitely. My first pick on this card, I was going to go with Jocelyn Edwards in this one. I just really don't like what I've seen from Chelsea Chandler. When she ran away from Norma Dumont in that fight, I get it. That was a survival tactic, but I really felt like that showed the level of fighter that she was on in terms of not being able to really impose any type of game plan in the cage and having to resort to fleeing at a certain point. And then with Jocelyn Edwards, even through her ups and her downs, she has improved gradually throughout every fight. And I just think I like her game better. She has good boxing, a good 1-2. She's pretty good off her back as well. Not off her back, but she's pretty good with the grappling in general. Just has to work on the takedown defense, in my opinion. And I was gonna go with Edwards in this one. She's a good fighter. Looks pretty good in and out of the cage. And yeah, I was gonna go with Edwards for sure.
I'm right with you. I'm taking Jocelyn Edwards for a decision in this one. Chandler, she has really bad fight IQ. She's gonna have the wrestling advantage, but she's at like a major striking disadvantage. So I'll take Jocelyn. You just gotta see what kind of Jocelyn you get. Sometimes her cardio is really bad. She's like different every fight, but I would still be confident in a Jocelyn Edwards decision.
Mm-hmm. Let's do it. Yeah, man. Hey, like hopefully she can pull it out, but I mean, I think she'll again to show the improvement. In this one, going into this next one, Timothy Kawamba. No, oh, I'm sorry about that. Can you zoom in? I'm sorry about that. I'm kind of blind right now. I got homie's name messed up. That's the Timothy Kawamba. Yeah, man. Roberto Romero versus Timothy Kawamba. I thought I read it wrong. I'm tripping. Yeah. So obviously Romero, he has yet to get a UFC win. I think both these guys are coming off losses. So one of these guys are going to leave the cage with a win. For me personally, I like what I've seen from Roberto Romero more. I think he's fought better competition. Given even his short stint inside the UFC. He's a Mexican, so obviously he's going to be extremely durable in the cage. He's a pretty decent boxer, predominantly a striker, in my opinion. And like I said, I get it. He has yet to get a win. Of course, he lost to David Onama in his last fight. But that was on pretty short notice when he took it. And he went to a decision. And I think Onama's a pretty good fighter. So him not getting finished or anything in that fight showed his level, in my opinion. And Timothy Kawamba's on a 2-fight losing streak. That loss to Luke Almeida does not look the best in my opinion. So I do think that Roberto Romero can impose as well. I do think he'll be the better striker in this fight. I know that Timothy Kawamba has 4 wins via KO. But I do think that Roberto Romero, again, being more durable, I think he'll win the exchanges on the feet. And yeah, I was going to go with Roberto Romero in this one. Also, pretty long layoff for Lucas Almeida. Hasn't fought since June of 2024. So, pretty decent layoff for him as well. So, I was going to go with Roberto Romero to win by decision in this fight.
I like it. I agree with you. Romero is a really good boxer. The problem with him is once he gets taken down, he kind of accepts it and he'll go to his back, which we were learning that from my coach that it's not a good thing once you get taken down to go to your back, and get the fuck up was the drill. So I'm leaning towards Kwamba in this one. I think he doesn't have the striking advantage. He has a few knockouts, but I think he's going to lean to his wrestling in this one. I think he's going to avoid boxing. He's going to pick out the outside, lean on his wrestling, and win a decision in this one.
That, yeah, man. This is an amazing fight. This next one is for a lot of reasons. The UFC has been waiting on this. They've been waiting for, regardless of whatever they say, this is not on some misogynistic. I respect these women as athletes first and foremost. It's just marketability wise, like they've been waiting for more quote unquote attractive fighters to grace the octagon, and that's happening now. Both these girls look good. Like, both these girls are at least 8s or 9s. Like if they're anything below an 8, and any of these guys is bugs and stuff like that, I want to see who they're bagging, because they better be some pretty fine checks. Most definitely. I was gonna go with Jacqueline Morum in this one. I like what I've seen from her more. I think Polyana Viana's been fairly up and down in her UFC career. And I think Jacqueline, after rebounding off her loss to Sam Hughes, I think she's going to come out here and look really good. Most definitely. I think she's only looked better ever since taking her first loss. So I think she's going to look good, man. She's still young at 29 years old, about to turn 30. But she's on a 3-5 win streak after the Sam Hughes loss. So I think she's going to just go on and continue with her momentum in this one. Now I was going to go with Jacqueline Morum.
I'm right with you. I have Jacqueline winning this one by sub. I don't think Polyana's the best, but she is fire. She's very good looking, and she got all those Naruto tattoos. She has a lot of Naruto tattoos. I think she might have only Naruto tattoos. But yeah, she got the curse. She got the
Dean tattoo.
She got the stomach one. Which one was that? With
the seal.
The seal. She got the Karuma seal or something.
Yeah,
so.
9 tails.
Yeah, she's fire. She is fire. What happened to her and Alex Pereira? Are they still going out or no?
I don't know. No, that ended a while ago. He had another shotty after that. She went to one of his fights. Of course, for being a fighter, she was there with an outfit on, saying like, "I'm my boyfriend, like I'm my ex's favorite." Like, So, obviously, him being the man in Brazil, he has the pick of the litter in terms of the women right now. Most definitely, I get it. Same in America.
They were grappling in the kitchen, bro. They were definitely a thing.
They wore matching outfits at one point. They had like matching fur coats on at one point. You can see the picture. Most definitely had matching outfits on at one point. So I'm not surprised. She's a gorgeous girl. He was probably on that for a little bit, and it's to the point he could. It's just a matter of him sending a DM. And literally, if he gets curved, I'm pretty sure he'll be taking it back, kind of shocked. But at this point, he's still that dude, especially in his part of the world. So it's a matter of him sending a DM to be real, just whoever. For real. Moving on up the fight card. I love this fight. Got the Georgia native Malcolm Wellmaker fighting the South African Cameron Simon. Man, this fight's pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna go with Malcolm Wellmaker in this fight. I think he's like really good on the regional scene. Has really, really good power. When he showed it when he knocked out the UK dude on Contender Series. And it was just a devastating hook. And like it really right then, like to me, showed the kind of power he's working with, even at this level. He's 30 years old, so he's coming in here like primed and ready, not some young 21-year-old who hasn't filled into his frame yet. And yeah, like when he knocked out Adam Bromwald like that with the right hook, like that, it was crazy to see. For Cameron Simon, he's only 24 years old. Been here for a little bit now, since about 2022. About 3 years he's been on the roster. It's pretty crazy how time flies. Cameron Simon. But yeah, that last loss to Peyton Talbot, that was devastating, and that was a year ago. And I'm not surprised he took a year off. it's like everything he tried to do in that fight, Payton just canceled it out. Even when he shot for the takedown at the last minute, and like Payton just met him with a knee like that, it just showed like, yeah, this dude's working on another level right now. And I get it, Payton didn't look good in this last fight. I think that could have been due to multiple things. I do think he kind of got soaked up in the fame of being a UFC fighter a little bit, and kind of lost maybe a little bit of focus, going as hard as he was in the gym. It happens unconsciously, even if they think they're still going as hard as they were. They start to teeter off a little bit. And I think that loss to Hanley Barcelos is going to wake Payton Talbot back up for sure. But staying with these two guys, again, the loss to Payton Talbot, I mean, it was just really, really bad on paper. I still think Cameron Simon is a good striker. He's a decent grappler, but predominantly a striker. If it plays out on the feet, I do think that Malcolm is going to hurt him. So I was going to go with Malcolm Wellmaker by second round KO to win this fight.
I'm right there with you. I have Wellmaker also winning this one by knockout. He's just super patient in the way he fights, and he has a nasty right hand just waiting to catch you. Simon's good. He has very good tempo, cardio. He pushes it. The only way Cameron Simon's winning this one is decision, but I don't think it's going to get there. I think Malcolm will catch him with that right hand at some point in the fight.
Exactly. No, I agree. And yeah, moving on up the card, of course. Damon Blackshear. It's a crazy name. It's like a medieval name. Blackshear. Damon Blackshear. I think he's born in medieval times. It's really cool. I was gonna go with Damon Blackshear to win this fight via decision. I think he'll be the better wrestler in this fight. He's more athletic than Alateng Haley, been more consistent throughout his UFC career. And yeah, I was gonna go with Damon Blackshear to win this fight via wrestle decision.
You think he's gonna out wrestle? I actually think the opposite. I think Alateng is gonna close the distance and try and wrestle Damon. I think Damon would win this one with a sub after getting taken down. Like, I think Alateng would go in for the takedown, and Damon would catch him in a Kimura or a guillotine or something. But I think I don't think he's gonna get the sub in this one. I think it's gonna just be a decision. It's gonna slowly just pick apart Damon Blackshear. It's going to be a hard fight for him to win, but I'm taking Alateng to win this one.
Okay, for sure. Now, that's a close one. First disagreement of the night.
Second, we had the Romero and Kuamba fight.
Oh, my bad. Okay, word. Okay, bet. Hey, moving on up the card. Let's get it. For sure, cooking with grease now. Yeah, I was gonna go in this one. I mean, it's another one, man. I just hope it happens. Like, this guy, this has been rebooked, I think, 2 times at this point. So it's just rare you see them keep unranked guys together like that, just not try to rebook them for somebody else, But it's at 140, still not one. It's at 145, still not in the 135 division, unfortunately. And yeah, man, I was gonna go with Chris Gutierrez in this one. I just like him more of a striker. I really like his feints, what he can do on the feet. I get it. His wins aren't that good on paper, looking back on it, like the Frankie Edgar win and stuff like that, being one of his biggest wins to date. I mean, he didn't look that good in the Song Yadong fight, but I still think he'll come back better with the striking in this one. Have good takedown defense. Excuse me. Be a little more athletic, and again, just have more overall better striking game on the feet. Castaneda's also pretty good himself. I mean, I can't say he has more experience because the records are actually they're even. I actually they have the same amount of fights. It's pretty funny, literally. 28 fights, both of them. So either way, he got 27. I mean, not 27, 28. Yep. So either way, we'll see what happens, but yeah. I was gonna go with Chris Gutierrez in this one to win via decision. I think he'll be the better striker, like I said, on the feet. I think he'll just really assess the distance a little better than John Castaneda will. And I just like what I've seen from him overall more throughout both of their careers. I have what I have seen more. So yeah, and also I'm gonna correct myself. They do indeed have 28 fights apiece. So for sure. Yeah, it's pretty funny. They literally have the same amount of fights. And they will again after this fight. Literally. So man, I was gonna go with Chris Gutierrez in this one. And yeah, who are you picking?
I'm also with Chris Gutierrez to win this one by decision. John has a grappling advantage in this one, but Chris is just too good off his lead. I mean, he has a good jab, he has a good teep, and then he throws those calf kicks, which are nasty. Those calf kicks change a fight. I mean, if you have to change your stance, most fighters, I mean, I could be wrong, but most fighters could really only shoot off of one side. They can't shoot both sides that well. I mean, it's just normal though. You don't practice. I don't think wrestlers practice shooting on both sides. You know, you either shoot to the right, you shoot to the left, and if you change your stance, you're not taking a motherfucker down without a good shot. Not in no damn UFC or not. So I think this fight is catered towards Chris a little more. I think he could win this. He's just very good off of his lead, keeping distance and just picking away fights. I don't think this fight has any finish potential, so I'm gonna go with Gutierrez to win this one.
Okay, bet. Hey, decisions on A. We'll see what happens. Like I would like to see it finish. I do think the card on paper is gonna be crazy. When it actually comes to fruition, I do think the fights will deliver and actually be a lot of finishes on this card. Even in this fight, Evan Elder versus Gage Young. Elder versus Young. It's pretty funny. Yeah, man. I was gonna go with Evan Elder in this one. I just think Gage Young is taking it on too short notice. This was supposed to be a mod. I keep forgetting how to say his last name, but I kind of don't want to. He was accused of SA with a young girl, apparently. And he's locked up right now in a Sacramento police prison. So, it's pretty crazy, you know, to see that happen. You know, we'll see if the UFC decides to cut homie. They've cut fighters for way less. Absolutely. So we'll see if they let him go. But I was gonna go with Evan Elder in this one. Just can't pick Gage Young on short notice like that. And yet again, another fight where they have the same amount of fights on this one as well. It's pretty funny. But yeah, I got Evan Elder to win via decision. Who you got?
My bad. I was fucking on Twitter. I got Elder to also win this one by decision. I think he has the grappling advantage. I just think he's going to give Gage Young a very hard time with it.
Let's do it. All right, bet. Yeah, man. I just think Elder again, yeah, I just can't do the short notice. I think it's like literally like a week's notice or something like that. He's taking the fight. At least he's here now. At least he can, just take this fight, get his feet wet, and really recuperate and get ready for his real debut in this next fight. And yeah, man, Matt Schnell versus Jimmy Flick. This is a hard fight to pick. I have to go with Matt Schnell though. I just think Jimmy Flick, it's like I'm pretty sure he has like 5 losses via KO or something like that. Like it's really, really bad. Like he had a really sad interview one year when he retired from the UFC after not having the support of his father. Unfortunately, it was a heartbreaking interview to watch. I felt really bad. But it's cool to see him return. Absolutely. I just think, like with his durability issues, it's like, 6 losses via KO. Exactly. 17 wins via submission. So out of 17 wins, you have 15 wins via submission. So we'll see what happens, man. Like I just think with Matt Schnell, I think he'll be able to keep the fight on the feet and this, pick him apart, box him up and just win a fight, man. I think they're doing this to keep Matt Schnell in the UFC. I think they like him as a person. Absolutely. So always puts on fun fights. So I was gonna go with Matt Schnell. And yeah, man, we'll see what happens. But I got Schnell via 3rd round knockout.
I like that one. Yeah, Jimmy Flick, he's just a submission guy. It's a big threat, honestly. Matt Schnell leaves out his neck when he shoots. So I mean, he's calling to be guillotined in this fight. I think that's one of the most logical ways Jimmy Flick wins this one. Other than that minor detail that he leaves his neck out, I think he's just such a better fighter. Maybe just doesn't have the IQ that Jimmy Flick has, but he's just a better fighter, a better mixed martial artist. I also have Matt Schnell winning this one by a late knockout.
Yeah. All right, bet. Moving on to the card. Yeah, man. Even with this next one, especially on the main card, y'all, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I get it. We're almost done. You normally would only be on the 3rd fight by now, but yeah, y'all. Thank you again for rocking with us. Really appreciate y'all. Absolutely. And yeah, going to the main card. First fight of the night on the big show. Ikram Aliskerov versus Andre Muniz. Yeah, man. I was gonna go with Ikram Aliskerov. I think we'll have a bounce back performance from the Robert Whitaker loss. It was really just sad for him, like he still felt really good after the fight. If you watch that clip that came out, he was still in high hopes even after getting finished in the first round like that. It just felt really bad for Ikram. It's always two sides to the story, even if you want one guy to beat the other, one guy has to win and one guy has to get half a paycheck, and lose the fight. So I was going to go with Ikram Aliskerov to get a bounce back win in this fight. I think he can do good on the ground with this guy, and he can knock him out on the feet. So I was going to go with Ikram to get a second round knockout in this fight.
I like that. Yeah, I don't put too much weight on his last loss. I mean, it was a short notice fight, right? Rob was supposed to fight Hamzat. It was a short
Ikram's going to fight Costa.
Oh, Ikram was supposed to fight Costa. Okay. But wasn't that supposed to be Rob fighting Hamzat too at the same time? They both got the
Robert was going to fight Hamzat on that card, and then Hamzat got ill. He had to pull out again, so Ikram had stepped in. Yeah. And then Paulo Costa, he got pulled, I think, to fight Sean Strickland.
Yeah.
After that.
Pulled that fight apart. Yeah, so I mean, I'm not going to put too much weight into the loss. I mean, we picked Volkanovski to beat Ilya after losing to Islam because it was short notice. You can't take too much away from someone who loses on short notice. They stepped in and fought an opponent they weren't supposed to fight, especially someone like Rob Whitaker. That's a crazy step up from Paulo Costa, in my opinion. Just skill wise, even though that fight, Costa could have put him out. But yeah, I think Muniz has good jiu-jitsu and he has all right Muay Thai. I just think Ikram has so many more ways to win, and he's just such a strong hitter. He just has such strong punches. I think he's gonna knock him out in this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Ikram's behind where he's supposed to be. You ever feel in life like you're behind where you're supposed to be? I feel like that's Ikram. Like he's supposed to be further right now. It's just been an unfortunate sequence for him, and he's been out for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, you saw what happened. They gave him the number 3 guy. If he would have beat Robert, that would have changed the whole outlook. He would have been one of those dudes, like people calling him on a first name basis on Twitter now, Ikram, this and that. It's always cool to see.
But going from it was close at the time, 5 or 6, like going from
number 6,
going from 6 to 3. I know it's only 3 numbers, but 6 to 3 is way different than like 15 to 12 or something.
Right.
I mean, 3 is 3 for a reason. So yeah, exactly. I think that was too big of a step up right there at that time.
Fine, yeah, the number 3 ranked dude. And I get it. It's hard. It's hard to even try to get a fight like that. But moving on up the card though, got it written the rude boy. Randy Brown is fighting Nicholas Dalby, Dynamite Dalby. He's a great fighter. The fact even Nicholas Dalby is still even here, the Danish Dynamite, he's even still fighting right now at age 40 is insane. His fights are kind of hard to call because they're all super close. He's always being super aggressive. He has good grappling, good striking, a lot of experience too. You can see in his record 23 wins to 5 losses. He keeps himself in great shape. He made weight. He's 171 on the scales this morning, so he looked good. You feel me? For me personally, I think Randy Brown's going to win this fight with the range alone, the boxing alone, the athleticism. I think just the boxing, the timing. I think he's going to really should do good at keeping Nicholas away at what Nicholas does best, which is make it dirty, close the distance, try to impose the grappling, try to gas the opponent out. I think Randy's gonna have the fight, make it really clean, just relax and so I was gonna go with Randy, the rude boy Brown.
I like the pick. I'm also taking Randy Brown to win this one by decision. Dalby's very twitchy. He's good at being in and out in the fight, so he's a hard person to fight. That's a very good style to use against someone like Randy Brown. He is 40. I did not know he was 40 years old. It's kind of crazy, but I'll leave that to the side. I'll leave it to the side. I'm not going to say that was my reason for picking against him. Just Randy Brown has such a fucking good jab, and having a good jab is fucking you cannot. If you have something good as a fighter, let it be a jab. If you have long arms and you have one good thing, let it be a jab. So he has such a good jab, and he uses his range well. He's really high IQ. But at the same time, if this is going to go to a decision, I do think Randy Brown's going to get hit a little bit in this fight. Like I said, I think that in and out fighting style is the perfect style to catch someone like Randy Brown. I think he'll get hit with something hard. Nothing to put him out, though. I think he'll get stunned, move around the cage, use that distance jab himself back awake, and then, yeah. But I have Randy winning this one by probably a split decision, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Or no. What's the okay, there's unanimous decision, majority means you won 2 rounds, right?
Majority, those are really rare. I think, yeah, majority of this, I think when you win 2 of the 3 rounds.
So unanimous is you won 3, majority is you won 2.
And a split is like a split is like, I think that's like that literally, like that's you barely win like a split decision.
Yeah. I think he'll win like a majority or a split decision then. Like I think he'll win 2 rounds, right? I think Randy Brown's gonna lose a round though, because he's gonna get clipped.
It's just like it's like defending your belt in a split decision, and like that's how you know that fight was insane. A split decision title fight, they're super rare. Most definitely, I love split decision title fights for sure. But moving on up the card. Almost done with it. Most definitely got the top 4 fights, all bangers from here on out. These last 2 hours of this card are going to be absolutely insane. But yeah, I was going to go with Machado to win this one. I think he's the more well-rounded fighter on the ground, and he can strike with this guy on the feet. Absolutely. He's also the same size. He's massive. You know, he showed no quit in that fight with Anthony Hernandez. He's getting blasted with the wrestling over and over and continuing to fight, trying to grapple out of it, trying to withstand the pressure. And I think that Abus Magomedov has none of that wrestling he will be able to implement on Michel Pereira. And I think if this is on the feet, I think Michel's going to style on this dude. Don't get me wrong, Abus looks good, but we have seen him KO'd before. Most notably, the Lewis Taylor knockout. Lewis Taylor, the former PFL fighter. He knocked him out in like 31 seconds. It was crazy. But yeah, I was gonna go with Michel Pereira to win this one via decision.
All right, these are like both like nightmare matchups for each other, but like at the same time they're not. Like Abus, he is like really good wrestling, I feel, but he has just such shit cardio, and he's such a slow fighter that like he can't take advantage of someone like Michel Pereira. And then Michel Pereira is just like first round, he's like the most superhuman specimen that ever is created. Super powerful. He looks really good. I just think like it's not Pereira's fault. I think he just dies to adversity. Like when it gets super tough and he's tired, it's not him quitting. It's just he can't do anymore. Like them muscles are way too big for that body, bro. Like there's not enough oxygen going through those muscles, and it's just not his fault. He's just too big for the weight class he fights at. But yeah, I have Pereira winning this one by knockout. I mean, Abus doesn't do enough to win fights like this, in my opinion. It's just when there's a dangerous motherfucker on the other side of that octagon, I can't take Abus. He doesn't finish. Like he doesn't chase the finish. Sometimes you got to get that motherfucker and just kill him. And I don't think he does that. You know, I think he's like he expects the decision. He expects to go 15 minutes and get his hand raised. And I don't think this one's going 15 minutes. I got Pereira to win this one by probably. Yeah, definitely a knockout.
Nah, yeah, I can see why. Like, I agree.
Sometimes you gotta chase that shit. The finish ain't gonna get for free. You ain't gonna turn someone's lights off for free. You gotta fucking get that shit, bro. You gotta turn those fucking lights off. Yeah, bro. You ain't just gonna punch someone in the face. They're gonna roll over. You gotta fucking shut them damn off, bro. So, I don't think Abus does that, in my opinion.
No, I agree, and like, yeah, and I like how you put that, especially with you training now. You know that like it's a test of wills in there, and if this dude breaks you, like it's hard going to bed that night knowing another man literally took money out your pocket by beating you in a fist fight. You feel me? So, going to our feature bout of the evening, we have the veteran versus potential in this fight. David Onama is going down to featherweight in this one. To take on Giga Chikadze, Giga Ninja Chikadze, one of the better kickboxers, top 10 still in the UFC in terms of technical ability, for sure. Great kicks. He doesn't telegraph them in the slightest, especially that lead roundhouse kick. That Giga kick, when he hits it to the liver like that, it's crazy. Also has pretty good hands too. He's also pretty good on the feet. Has a pretty decent boxing, but really just has his bread and butter with the kicks. Has decent takedown defense as well. I just think that for this fight, I think Giga, he's starting to get a little older, trying to make the weight at 145. He was on that run before he lost to Calvin Kattar. He was like 32, 33 back then, so he couldn't really afford the loss to really get to the title shot at 33 and try to challenge for the belt at that point. But yeah, versus David Onama, I've always like what I've seen from him. I just think he's really putting it all together finally. He has family from Kansas City. He currently he fights out of there. Pretty sure he lives there, of course. So a lot of family are going to be popping out for him. So he is going to, of course, have an extra sense of motivation in training camp to win this fight. Absolutely. It's a close one. Definitely a close one. For me, I was going to go with David Onama in this one, man. I know Giga, like, obviously he's the better technical striker in this one. I just think with David, I like what I have seen from him in terms of his power, in terms of his grappling as well. The KO over Gabriel Santos was a great win in my opinion. And with Giga, like, again, of course he's the better striker on paper, but some of those wins haven't really aged the best. That he was knocking out on his way up to get the Calvin Kattar fight in like that main event versus Edson Barboza. So I was gonna go with David Onama on this one. It's a close fight in my opinion. Excuse me. In my opinion. But I was gonna go with David Onama to win via decision. I don't think he'll knock him out. I just think just be younger in this fight, be a little more agile in this fight, be more aggressive, like really close the distance, just get in his face, like. But I was gonna go with David Onama in this one.
I like that pick. Unfortunately, I'm not. I wanted to pick him, but I just can't. First things first, Giga did miss weight by 1 pound. I think he has to pay some money over then. But Onama, he's good. He's really good. He just starts to fight too slow. And you're a slow fighter. I mean, Giga already won the first round, and if you didn't pick it up in the second, he already won 2 rounds, and now you have to finish him. Like when the fight picks up and the heat's on and they're close together, like they're in boxing range, I think Onama could that's when he could win the fight and stuff, and he could get his hands on Giga. But I mean, Father Time hasn't caught up to Giga yet. He's just going to be moving around the cage, throwing his kicks, touching you, hitting you. It's going to be hard for David to win this one, in my opinion. I have to take Giga to win this one by a decision. It's hard to pick like confidently. I think that the fight is going to slip away from David unless he could put him out. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Nah, man. Like I said, you're picking the veteran or you're betting on potential in this one, and I guess I'm rolling the dice, But yeah, moving on to the co-main event. Gotta give this fight the respect it deserves. Shout out to Anthony Lionheart Smith, the former UFC title challenger, the former UFC middleweight, UFC light heavyweight, the former Strike Force fighter, former Bellator fighter, former everything fighter, former. I mean, man, 37 wins to 21 loss. That's a lot of fucking fights, man. That's a lot of fights, man. That's a lot of times walking into the cage. Best believe it. Yeah, man, it's just crazy to see he's done, man. I'm always gonna support a black man, most definitely. For those of you who don't know, Anthony Smith is half black. You never see him grow his hair out, so he looks white. But if you go back and see the old pictures, or if you see his kids' cage side, which they'll probably be this fight, they are indeed little black girls. You can tell how they got the greater hair. They just look like some light skinned black girls. The curly hair. You feel me? So always got to support a fellow black man. Most definitely, for sure. And yeah, man, like it's crazy to see he's really done. You feel me? I thought so many fighters say they're gonna retire, but he maintained throughout all the media day, all everything throughout the whole week that this is his last time making the walk. And we know he lost his coach recently. I want to give a massive condolence to him. We saw him crying on the way to the cage when he took the first fight without the coach. So obviously it was super hard for him when he lost him. And yeah, man, like talking about Min Yang Zong, obviously this guy's got a bunch of first round KOs. He's on a tear. So to give Anthony this fight on the way out is pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't think Anthony would like it any other way. He definitely wants to test a fun fight on his way out, most definitely. And yeah, man, it's gonna be a close one for sure. We'll see what happens. I mean, man, like how can I not? How can I not? Like, man, I'm gonna pick Anthony Smith, man. I want him to win, man. I want him to win. I do, man. I want him to win. I'm gonna pick Anthony. Like, I was 50-50 on this fight. Everyone, of course, going to pick Min Yang Zong, given the potential, given what he's shown, the youth, the athleticism, the striking, everything. I get it. But I want Anthony Smith to go out on a win so bad. Knowing the storyline was going, I want him to have that Robbie Lawler moment. Most definitely. So I'm picking Lionheart till the end. I'm picking this last fight. I have to. How can I not? Watching this guy for a long time. So shout out to the On Paper podcast, most definitely. And Anthony Lionheart Smith, a great father, great fighter. Former title challenger. He man fought John Jones, and he could have took the belt if he wanted to, but he didn't. So shout out to Lionheart. And yeah, man, it's the last time I get to say that. I get to pick a Lionheart fight, so I gotta pick him to win. How can I not? You know.
Yeah, I respect it 100%. I mean, obviously it's his retirement fight. He's a veteran, so he knows a lot, but he hasn't been all in as a fighter, to say that. That's the fair thing to say. He hasn't been all in for a while. He's been honestly collecting checks, and it's fine. I mean, as a fighter, like, he's been doing it his whole life. He just doesn't know when to call. Like, there's no right time to call quit, right? He could have called quits 5 fights ago, but if he wins tomorrow night, it was all worth it sticking around. So yeah, I mean, Zhang, he looks really good, but there is room for the upset. You'd be a fool to not think there is. I think Zhang could win it. I'll just pick Anthony Smith like that just for fun too, because I genuinely think there is a way he could win. He's a skilled fighter at the end of the day. It depends on how his training camp went. Like, we weren't there for it, but if he was all in, locked in, it's like he told his coach, like, this is our last training camp. Like, I'm here to win this one. Like, no bullshit. He could win it. He really can. So let's take Anthony Smith to win this one. If I was going to bet anything on this card, you might as well, at these odds, bet on Anthony Smith. I mean, what is he? What the fuck is his odds to win? Let's see. I mean, I could look on here. It's not always the most accurate on Tapology, but dude, plus 340. Fuck it. Put your money on Anthony Smith.
Plus
put $100 on Anthony Smith. Fuck it.
Plus 340. It sucks they got him going out like that on his last fight, man. But
hey, give him his Robbie Lawler moment. Maybe he finishes the fight in the first fucking minute.
Clips them in just
first seconds, but give him the first minute flying triangle for Anthony Smith.
Let's go, man. It'd be crazy. It'd be crazy to see him, just get one on his
maybe he sinks in a nice guillotine. Who knows? On the cage?
I agree. Let's go,
Here's
Anthony.
what we all waited for, though. Come on.
Most definitely. Last fight of the night. Thank y'all again for joining us. Really appreciate y'all. Even if trying to go on a short one, we still almost cracked the hour. So thank y'all again for joining us. Most definitely. Going to the main event of the night. I love this fight. One of the best main events of the year so far, in my opinion. One of the best fights, period. Out of all 15 fights to be on every pay-per-view, every fight night, this is one of the best fights on paper this year. And yeah, man, like, let's just do how we do it every main event. Might as well. It's the last fight. So, I'm gonna break down the boy Ian Garry. Obviously, I've been high on this man for a real long time. Ever since he came out of Cage Warriors, as soon as he signed and fought Jordan Williams, even with the adversity he went through in that fight, I thought, like, yo, this guy's gonna, like, watching him on Cage Warriors was really cool. But of course, seeing him really translate the talent like that and really come over and look this good. Like I thought it was just bound to happen. Still at 27 years old, Ian Garry is the 6'3" welterweight. The only downside on his game, you could say, it's like the reach at 74.5, and he's still a really good striker even with that reach disadvantage. Only to Prates. Prates is damn near an anomaly, like Neil Magny numbers, having a 78-inch reach as a welterweight. And yeah, like for Ian, I think his IQ is super underappreciated only because he's super confident, and a lot of people don't like that. You have to be really confident when you're fighting grown men from across the world who are the best martial artists on the planet. You have to be so confident to fight these dudes. You have no idea. And yeah, man, like I think Ian, of course, he's a great striker. He's a good grappler as well. He did show his versatility in the MVP fight when he took him down to steal that last round at round 3. And like he has shown he's passed every test damn near when needed to. We saw what happened in the Shavkat fight. It went 5 rounds. He lost it, unfortunately, but he was this close to winning it in the 5th round when he almost submitted Shavkat. So either way, no matter what nobody says, I thought he showed his level in that fight. I mean, that Shavkat apparently was dealing with an injury. I think it was an MCL injury he was dealing with apparently. But I still don't want to take it away from Ian, because I thought Ian still looked really good in that fight with the striking, with his grappling, his distant management, like everything. I thought he looked great, And I've always been high on him, man. Like when he passed the Jeff Neal test, like when he head kicked Daniel Rodriguez, like he's just looked really, really good in my opinion. And I do think he is a future champion. I am bold to say that. I think people only hate on him because his personality. I think he's only looked good inside of the cage. People had him getting finished by Shavkat. It did not happen. He wasn't scared of him the whole fight. He was just striking and trying to, do a game plan. He was, keep the distance, body kick. And, Shavkat was doing some good stuff in the fight too with the control time and stuff like that. So, yes, yeah, I mean, he's a great fighter. Super high level, great fight IQ, great distance management. It's gonna be hard to knock this guy out. He's been dropped before, the Song Kanong fight. He's been clipped, the Jordan Williams fight. That was his debut. He was 23 years old at the time, but still, like I do think that he's gonna look even better in this one. It's pretty crazy they made this fight in my opinion, because they're literally, don't get me wrong, yeah, either guy are younger enough to bounce back, but it's gonna kill one of their trains, whoever loses this one, for Ian to come off a stock race performance in this last fight, even in a loss. It would just suck, because if he loses this fight, it's gonna be via KO, knowing Carlos Prates. So I don't see that happening in my opinion, but I'm gonna let you break down Carlos Prates. Like I said, Ian Garry, extremely well-rounded and fantastic fight IQ. 6'3" in the welterweight division with great footwork as well. Always been high on the 27-year-old Irishman, but what do you got for the 31-year-old Brazilian?
Yeah, man, it's not much to say. I mean, he's 1/4 of the fighting nerds. He's a Muay Thai specimen coming off the Contender Series. Got a knockout there. Came into the UFC, 4 straight knockouts, 4 straight performances of the nights. Dude, all by knockout. I mean, he put out Magny. He put out the Leech, which was fucking crazy. That was an insane knockout. I mean, if you didn't see that fight, they're definitely gonna be. Wait, do they do the pre-fight YouTube videos for fight nights too, or is that only for pay-per-views?
Oh yeah, marathon? Yeah. They have a like countdown and stuff. Yeah, like they have a UFC journey. I can send it to you when this.
Oh no! I was talking about for the pay-per-views. They do the pre-fight marathons right before the fight.
Oh, I think they like if they do that. If it's an arena card, they will. If it's arena, they will, like for fans and stuff like that.
If you've never seen a Prates fight, I don't know how you're here, but go watch the fight versus the Leech, bro. He put him out. That was an amazing fight. But yeah, I mean, sticking on the topic, I mean, like I said, he's a Muay Thai specimen. He is great. I mean, with Muay Thai, it's just great punches, great kicks, great knees, great clinch game. Dude, he has a tough. This is a big step up for him, though. I mean, you got to respect Ian Garry. There's very mixed opinions about Ian Garry, but you have to respect the skill that he possesses. Let's get into those picks, though.
Yeah, man. I'm going to the last fight of the night. Like I said, I've been having this guy since day one, man. Like I said in the Shavkat fight during our UFC 310 breakdown. I thought he could have beat Shavkat back then. I still think he is really high level. I thought he showed in that fight he can compete with this dude most definitely. Any of the top 5, top 3 welterweights, he can beat any of those dudes. I truly believe that. So, I was gonna go with Machado to win this fight. Ian Machado, Garry. I don't know if he'll knock him out. I think he'll just put a frustrating performance on Carlos Prates. Get him with the feints, get him with the distance. Use the footwork, stay out of the line of the power shot, that left hand, that laser beam. Really just look out for it. Really just, assess the distance. Like I said, he's great with the distance management. And he has great footwork as well to stay away from the opponent. Like how he showed in the Jeff Neal fight where everybody had him get knocked out. So, yeah, man, I think that it's going to take more than just power to beat him. You have to be able to control him, nullify his footwork, and then try to work your magic that way. Because it's going to be hard to beat Ian in a straight striking fight, and I truly believe that. And he can mix it up in this fight as well if he chooses to go for a takedown, which I do think he will do at one point. Just unexpectedly just shoot for a takedown, get him down. He's the bigger guy in this one, but not the longer guy. Prates has more firepower for certain in the pocket. I think Ian has to be careful exchanging with this dude like that. He will get clipped for sure. But I think Ian's gonna have a great performance. That's what we're gonna talk. He's gonna do good, but they're gonna shit on him because it's gonna go to a decision, and he didn't get KO. That's what I think is gonna happen. I think he will win the fight most definitely, and move on towards that title shot. By the beginning of next year, 2026 most definitely.
Good breakdown. I was very torn on this fight because I do respect Ian Garry. I am leaning more towards Ian Garry. I think he's more well-rounded. I think he's the better mixed martial artist. I think he is very dangerous, but I don't think he possesses the same finish potential as Prates. Obviously, like that's just to say. But I mean more so that like Prates' striking is better than the whole well-rounded game of Ian Garry.
Right.
That's what I mean. We have to see how Prates is going to look. I think he's going to be phenomenal on the ground. Like he's going to get taken down. He's going to butt scoot, get against the cage, do what he has to do. It's inevitable. Ian Garry is going to take the back in this fight. He ends the round with the back. That's whatever. Ian just doesn't chase the finish that much. I mean, he almost got Shavkat, and that was phenomenal. I mean, that was him just wanting to get out that fight. Like he's like, I need to get out this fight with a win right here, because he knew how close it was. But he's too cautious. Ian Garry has become someone who's protecting himself, not in a bad way. This isn't like in a bad way. He's protecting himself because he wants to be a champion. You have to protect yourself from losing. At first, he was protecting he lost that so now he's protecting himself. Like he's protecting his ranking now. He's still going to be the same cautious fighter. I don't think him losing is going to change anything about him. He's still going to be that cautious guy that doesn't chase finishes. He's going to try and pick you apart on the feet. And when he could get a hold of you, I mean, the clinch is not going to be in his favor in this one. He's going to do good in the clinch, but I don't think he's going to be the better clinch fighter. The knees are going to be too dangerous in this one. It's hard because I do think Ian Garry's going to win, but every angle I see this fight going in my head, like, they're clinched up against the cage. Prates could finish this shit at any second because one knee to the liver could put Ian Garry down to a knee, or one hook could drop him. I mean, we've seen Ian Garry get cracked before. We've seen him get put on his ass. It's tough. It's tough. It really is. I'm leaning Ian. I really am. I'm leaning Ian. It's hard. I do because I wanna pick Prates, but it's too much ego to do that. Let me just do it because it doesn't fucking matter who I pick. I'll take Carlos Prates to win by a finish. Like I said, I was leaning towards Ian Garry. I'm just doing this because it doesn't fucking matter. We got 10 viewers in the chat. What's up, chat? And it doesn't matter. It's just a pick at the end of the day. This isn't where I'm actually putting my money. I think Ian Garry is the safer pick, and at minus 150. I mean, you can make good money off of that with Ian Garry winning, which I think he will. But I'm going to take Carlos Prates to win this one by a knockout because everywhere this fight could go, standing up, clinch, against the cage, boxing range, at kicking range. I mean, Prates could finish it anywhere at any time. Ian Garry is too cautious. He does start. He's aggressive, but he doesn't do anything crazy in the first round, and Prates might just come out the gate and fucking flush him. With just tempo and cardio and make it a whole different fight. So I'll take Prates, just for the fun of it. We'll have a good time. I'll take Prates to win this one by KO. TKO.
KO, damn, you gonna get knocked out.
He can. You've seen Ian Garry get put on his ass before.
I mean, not for sure. Like, I mean, I get it. Like,
I was gonna take Ian Garry if that. Like, I had him written down. I'll send it to you later. But just because we're here right now, and when I was talking, I talked myself into it again. Like, I like fighters who want to finish that before the time limit. This is 25 minutes, dude. I see if Ian Garry wins this one, it'll be by rear naked choke, though.
I mean, he's a slight favorite, -150, and we know that Ian did take this fight on 25 days notice. He did say it on the UFC journey. Indeed, he made weight perfectly fine. And he said it. Like, I'm always ready. There's never a time I am not ready. I'm always ready. And I believe him on that. And he has to pass these tests. You can't control this. Obviously, doing the UFC a massive favor because we know this was originally supposed to be Jamal Hill versus Khalil Roundtree, which is now the June 21st main event in Azerbaijan, a random part of the world. Two Black Americans to be fighting. I'm not gonna lie. You feel me? But either way, yeah, man, I got Ian Garry to win this fight via decision. I think he's gonna look good on the feet, avoid the damage in the first 2 rounds, get Prates out of there. We know Prates hasn't been 5 rounds, not in the UFC at least. And Ian has, and we know Ian was a Cage Warriors champion, so he has trained for 5 rounds before. Yes, he has. So, yeah, man, to end it with that, I was going to go with Ian Machado Garry to win via decision. We disagree on the main event, so we'll both be watching it at the edge of our seats, to see what happens, see who comes out on top. I think we'll see Garry in the post-fight press conference having a pretty good time, hopefully. I hope so, most definitely. And yeah, man, that was this card. I know we got 7 people in the chat, so I do want to spend a little bit more time. Like I said, before we get out of here, we did talk about it off camera, so we can go ahead and react to the new UFC Fight Night that they just get announced. The new main event. As y'all know, because I haven't told y'all, your boy Antoine is from Atlanta, Georgia. So it's pretty cool that we are actually about to get an event. It's been a really, really long time since Dana has came down here to the dirty, dirty South. You feel me? ATL. We not Texas. You feel me? It's been a really, really long time. It just feels good to finally have a main event where people like it's gonna sell out. You feel me? I just can't wait. You feel me? First and foremost, before we get to the fight announcement portion, I want to give a shout out to the boys in the chat. Thank you so much to Rooster for joining us. Ikram by KO in the first round, most definitely. Give a shout out to Gustavo. Thank you so much for stopping by. You pick Ian Garry, so your boy Antoine side Ian Garry. The boy 305 Chunks. Thank you so much, Leon versus Masvidal. Man, I wish unless some news broke while we were on here, and like I'm saying, unless Jorge came out of retirement, like that'd be pretty crazy, He did say he wanted to come back. Obviously UFC still pays him pretty good, even with the contract he still has remaining. So I wouldn't be surprised if Jorge decided to. And I still love Jorge. I love Game Brad, most definitely. And yeah, even Manaki is on the boy Nicky's side, picking with Prates by second round KO. So all good picks from the boys in the chat. Yeah, man, it was all super, super, super logical picks. I get it. You feel me? But again, going to the fight night portion. Also, y'all, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I always want new viewers all the time, most definitely. And yeah, man, so it's good to see Joaquin's really getting this fight. He asked for it when he won his previous one during the post-fight interview. And they gave it to him. It made sense logically. Usman can't just sit in the top 5, and if you continue to be active and not retire, he's going to have to compete. He hasn't fought in 2 years, where he lost to Hamza Chimaev after taking the fight on 11 days notice. I repeat, 11 days notice. He stuffed 8 out of 11 takedowns in that fight. Don't let them highlights fool you. Usman damn near won the next 2 rounds after taking it on short notice. It really should have been a draw, in my opinion. I don't think Usman should have won the fight, but it should have been a draw at least when he lost to Chimaev like that. And yeah, man, that goes to show you how good he is on 11 days notice. So the fact Usman's getting another full camp in this one goes to show you that, hey, man, he's definitely still got a little bit, in my opinion. But for me, man, it's just like Joaquin's looked phenomenal in his last few fights. I think with this one, no one talks about Joaquin's athleticism like that. He's a nightmare for wrestlers. He'd be a nightmare matchup for Bilal Muhammad, in my opinion. Like, don't get me wrong, it's different when dudes shoot 10, 15 takedowns, but when he fought Albert Duraev like that Dagestani Russian, and he could not get him down in the slightest off pure athleticism, off Joaquin's sprawl like that, he's just like, it's not, he doesn't have useless muscle. He's shredded off pure athleticism and muscle fiber, and he has good cardio as well. You don't really see Joaquin gas out like that. It's only really been his chin, because we have seen him knocked out multiple times inside the UFC. So I think at 170, that's not really that much of a problem for him anymore. Fighting guys his size, his frame. Usman's only going to be 2 inches taller. I think Joaquin will be the better striker. He will give Usman problems on the feet, but we know Usman has a phenomenal jab, an amazing championship experience. So I'm really happy we got a main event like this. I'm really happy we got a real fight. It's pretty cool, most definitely. And we're gonna see what happens, man. How do you feel about the UFC Atlanta main event, man?
I think it's fire. We also got Rose Namajunas versus Miranda Maverick on that as the co-main, looking like the co-main. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, this is a banger fight right here. I mean, I have no clue how this one's going to play out. I'd have to rewatch fights for a little while, because who's the hardest hitter Kamaru Usman has faced, man? Like,
hardest hitter? Good question. Gilbert Burns. You could say Gilbert did drop like a UFC 258 in the first round, but Usman went back to knock him out in that fight. So
I think Buckley's a harder hitter than Gilbert Burns, man.
Oh man, I think with Buckley, like, it's because it's his agility, his speed.
And he's so explosive, dude. He's
exactly.
So explosive. It's 5 rounds. Buckley could do 5 rounds. Usman could do 5 rounds, but that's a good one. Early prediction, I want to be able to tell you. I hope Kamaru could win it, but I wouldn't want it to deteriorate what Buckley has done at this point in his career. 31 years old, on a win streak. He's ranked number 4 at welterweight. It's insane. Yeah, I wouldn't want him to get off throne there, but
oh yeah, because if one more thing before we go to the Holloway versus Portier, and that'd be the last one for the night. If Joaquin knocks him out, he's getting a title shot. It's a wrap. Yeah. It's over. It is over. They gotta give my man that fucking title shot.
Then you knocked out a striker. You knocked out a wrestler or a mixed martial artist.
I'm saying this man he would have knocked out Wonder Boy. He would have beat.
About to get Buckley versus Makhachev for the belt. That's insane.
That'd be crazy, bro. Like,
I'd be scared for Islam too. As an Islam fan, I'd be fucking nervous, dude, because he gets hit sometimes. So
it would be cool to see Buckley just get a massive fight, get a massive bag like that. And the last thing I will say, it would be crazy because it's just so poetic. Like, his last 2 wins would have been over Colby Covington and Kamaru Usman.
Oh, you saw I forgot the Colby fight was in between the Wonder Boy fight. Dude, if it was Buckley versus Muhammad, do you know how much of the fan base would side with Joaquin Buckley?
Like, because
that pre-fight press conference would be roaring for him, dude.
Like, because man, it's just because he has the takedown offense and he has the striking to get it done. He just has to maintain the fight IQ, which protects his chin. He just has to keep that chin off limits at all costs. You're not saying he's chinny, but we've seen him knocked out before, so that's the only thing. He just has to be careful. I'm moving on to the last fight announcement of the night. Gotta react to this one on the way out the door. Thank y'all again for joining us, most definitely. Again, got 2 future Hall of Famers. I was pretty shocked when I saw a number on it. I thought it was gonna be a fight night, but nah, man, they can't have two guys like this on a fight night. They have to pay to watch these guys fight. UFC 318, Ultimate Fighting Championship 318. It's official. We finally got Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway 3, the trilogy, with Dustin winning the first 2 meetings. Most recent one being at UFC 236. That was the last Atlanta card. Last time they were down here, they were the main event. So, yeah, man, like here we go. How do you feel about it storyline wise? You know,
It's crazy. Like I tweeted it out earlier. I'm really glad they did this fight. They didn't do it. Ilya wouldn't have been good for Dustin because if he were to knock out Ilya and retire, I mean, that would have thrown off the UFC fucking a whole year, honestly. And if they did Gaethje versus Poirier, I mean, Gaethje's real. Like Dustin got that last title shot against Islam, and now he's getting a BMF shot here. So the UFC has done him a fair hand. But with Justin, they made Justin fight Max Holloway for no damn reason when he was the number 1 contender about to fight Islam. And then he loses that fight, has to fight Fiziev again. And if they were to give him this fight, I mean, first of all, Dustin versus Gaethje would have been for no belt, right? At least this is for the BML. That would have been for no belt. And if Justin got knocked out by Dustin, I mean, that would have been so fucked up for Justin. So I'm really glad they did this. Makes sense. There is a trilogy, even though it is 2-0 in Poirier's favor. I think it's different now. I mean, in the first fight, that was a Max Holloway that wasn't built. Well, actually, in the first fight, that was at featherweight, so they're completely different fighters. Yep. And in the second fight, that was a Max Holloway that wasn't built for lightweight. Now, at this point, he already put on the muscle for his fight against Justin. When he cut down, he looked different because he put on all the muscle. But he has that muscle on him now, so he's going to look good at lightweight. He's comfortable at lightweight. He's fought there now. I think this fight's going to be completely different than the last 2. I like this one a lot. I really do. I'm leaning Max Holloway already, but I don't think age has affected Dustin Poirier. I think he's a great fighter at this age still. It sucks. He just fights in a stack. If Dustin wanted to move up to 170, I think he could push his career longer. But he's a lightweight, and there's no goal for him at the end in lightweight. I mean, he's seen what Islam does, so he did a great job against Islam, but that's a hard win. And then now you got Ilya to Poirier here. That'd be another hard fight for Dustin. So, yeah, I think this is a good spot to call it quits for him. Hopefully he gets it done for him. I would not like Max to lose this one, though. Max isn't retiring yet, so I do not want Max to lose this one. How do you feel?
Because, see, like, that's the thing, too. Like, the UFC is a business at the end of the day, you know. And they know they put one of these guys in there to get a win. At the same time, just the possibility that, okay, Max leaves on a win. He gets a win over Dustin. As a smooth transition to lightweight, being one of the legends of the division, even at an older age. And that sets Max up to just continue on in lightweight for the next couple of years, you know. Or if Dustin beats Max, it's like, man, I still feel good, man. I still like, you know, I just beat Max Holloway. Like, I could really come back. You never know, you know. So, in reality, I do think this is Dustin's last one. It's literally like he's fighting. He's making the walk, like in New Orleans. It's his entire family will be there for this one. His whole community, everyone he knows is going to be there for this fight, most definitely. So they have been to New Orleans. I've been to Louisiana a long time, man. So they're going back to New Orleans for UFC 318. You know what that's for. And they're literally dedicating that's how much they love you. They're bringing a pay-per-view to your city for you. That's how much. It's kind of like when Jorge retired at UFC 287 in Miami, literally. And yeah, man, like, I just don't know. Like, you know, like obviously they want to get one of these guys a win. It was sad to see Max lose. It would be because I think this fight does end by finish, 100%. It's a BMF title fight, so we're gonna get a BMF card. You know, the BMF cards are meant to just be banger stand and bang cards, barely any grapplers on the card. So I can't wait, most definitely. And yeah, man, we're gonna see what happens. No early leans. I definitely want to let this marinate until we break it down come July, of course. We'll talk about this fight when it's time. And yeah, man, that's it for me on this podcast tonight, unless you got anything else to say.
That's it for me, man. Let's go enjoy this Lakers game.
That's it for me, y'all. It from us. Thank y'all so much again for joining us. All the new guys in the chat, all the old ones, all the day ones. Love having y'all. Love talking to all of you. I got 7 viewers still watching live. Thank y'all again for joining us. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Join us back again. You know, we're just trying to get more active every day. If we're not too busy Saturday night, we'll try to do like, you know, or Sunday afternoon. Do like a post-fight recap, see what happened. Depending how crazy the card is too. If you just have to talk about what happened, like if Ian gets knocked out in the first round or something like that, knocking on wood. Most definitely. But that's it from me. Enjoy some NBA playoffs, y'all. It's the playoffs. You don't gotta be a hardcore fan to watch the playoffs, you know. And that's it, you know. God bless y'all and good night.